the contract was signed. The private jet took off. And, well, just like that, the biggest celebrity leak of the year landed. With absolute, almost surgical precision.
Yeah, it looked like the moment ITV's carefully constructed secrecy just shattered.
Exactly. But if you look closer, you start to think maybe the glass wasn't broken at all. Maybe it was just reflecting a pre-planned image.
Welcome to the deep dive. We take that stack of sources you give us, pull out the crucial bits, and basically give you the shortcut to knowing what's really going on.
And today, our mission is, well, it's peeling back the curtain on the strategic genius behind manufactured hype. Specifically, the massive machine that is UK reality television.
We're diving deep into what looks like the ultimate celebrity media manipulation, how one of the world's biggest shows kind of weaponized its own contestant leak.
Right. To get maximum saturation before spending a single penny on official promotion. We are, of course, talking about, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
And that huge, extremely high credibility leak of the entire 2025 roster.
With the launch date confirmed for Sunday, November 16th, the network, they had a really tight window to just dominate the news cycle.
And what's absolutely crucial for you to get here is that the whole pre-show conversation, all the noise, the drama, it feels like it's all being meticulously dictated by two core narratives.
Yeah, highly sensitive, predefined narratives built around two main figures, Jack Osbourne and Kelly Brook.
Those are the anchors.
Okay, let's unpack this strategy then, because the consensus across the sources about the leak, I mean, it's genuinely shocking how widespread it was.
Around November 7th, 2025, the full 12 contestant list just drops.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. And here's the analytical clue, the thing that really suggests it was engineered. Every single major UK outlet.
You mean like the nationals, the regionals?
Nationals, regionals, tabloids, even the broadsheets. They all published the exact identical list. Zero deviation.
Wow. Okay. So that uniform reporting, that's the tell.
It's the smoking gun, really. The list confirms Jack Osbourne and Kelly Brook as the big headliners, yeah. But also the full ensemble, Ruby Wax, Alex Scott, the former Lioness, Martin Kemp, Shona McGarty from EastEnders, Lisa Riley from Emmerdale.
That's a strong soap contingent.
Always is. Plus comedian Eddie Kadey, the rapper Aitch, social media star Angry Ginge, Vogue Williams, and Tom Reed Wilson.
That is a hefty and pretty expensive-sounding roster. But you're saying this wasn't some accidental slip-up, not a contract breach.
Doesn't look like it.
So if every single outlet had the exact same list, where does it come from? And why would ITV risk, giving up control like that?
Well, the reporting points to one initial source, the Sun newspaper.
Okay.
And if you connect this to how UK reality TV PR often works, you see this established tactic. It's like controlled dissemination.
Controlled dissemination. So planting the story.
Pretty much. This wasn't some disgruntled staffer leaking info to a rival. It feels much more like a deliberate placement of the list with a, let's say, trusted media partner.
Yeah, the goal.
Simple, really. Force every competitor paper and website to chase that same story. You generate this unified, totally ubiquitous news cycle.
So ITV gets maximum pre-show buzz without spending on actual ads, confirming the star power before launch.
Exactly. Free, massive publicity.
But isn't there a risk? Like, if you give the scoop to just one paper, don't you annoy everyone else? Couldn't they turn on the show or ignore future leaks?
It's a calculated risk, definitely. But in this specific media environment, the story, the full correct list, it's just too big for competitors to ignore.
The fear of being scooped is stronger than the annoyance.
Pretty much. Fear of missing out overrides any journalistic spite. And that leads perfectly into the second really smart move, the network's official response, or maybe the lack of one.
Right, because they still have to pretend secrecy, don't they, contractually, which is where the famous non-denial denial comes in.
You got it. Their official statement sent verbatim to every news desk was, any name suggested for I'm a celebrity, get me out of here is just speculation.
Any name suggested.
Yeah.
Very careful wording.
Isn't it? They dismiss any names generally without actually denying the specific correct 12 names they know everyone just printed. It's the perfect PR shield.
So they can tell their contractors, hey, we kept it secret, while basically confirming the story to the public.
Exactly. It generates huge free media coverage that confirms the correct narrative. Think about it. If the list was wrong, they'd have probably leaked different names, counter-rumors, something to muddy the waters.
Yeah, create chaos.
Right. This clean, non-committal response, it's basically their loudest confirmation.
The layers here are pretty fascinating. They used the leak to confirm the whole cast, but then they used these specific narratives they built around the main stars to really focus the media spotlight.
Spot on.
Okay, let's shift gears then. From the overall strategy to the specific character arcs they're selling us. And hey, if you're loving how deep we're digging into these celebrity strategy rooms, make sure you subscribed. We've definitely got even crazier stories coming up.
Right, let's focus first on Jack Osbourne. His whole presence seems anchored to this idea of the grief journey.
Yeah, and here's the emotional core they seem to be leveraging. His casting comes just, 3 or 4 months after the death of his father, the legend Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy passed in July 2025, so yeah, very recent.
That immediate context just loads his participation with this really sensitive, incredibly resonant emotional weight, doesn't it? He's not just another celebrity contestant. He feels like the series' central emotional arc.
And for a decision that sensitive, the production team absolutely had to get ahead of any potential backlash. Accusations of it being exploitative or too soon.
So how do they do that?
Proactively, they deployed what you could call the familial endorsement. The sources are all saying the same thing. Reports universally cited an insider confirming Jack had the full support of his mother Sharon and his sister Kelly.
Ah, okay, so that acts like a protective PR layer.
Yeah.
Shields the network.
Exactly. And the timing of the family's public signals was, well, immaculate.
You mean Kelly Osbourne's birthday post for Jack?
Right around November 8th, yeah. She posted that tribute saying, "Dad is and was so proud of you." Now, it didn't explicitly mention the jungle.
But the timing.
The timing and the supportive sentiment aligned perfectly with the media rollout. It just lent this air of authenticity to the idea that Jack's doing this with his family's blessing.
And what about the production's expectations? Are they subtle about it?
Not at all. Completely explicit. Insiders are reporting Jack is expected to open up about his personal journey, discuss Ozzy,
Create those big emotional moments.
create what they anticipate will be incredibly moving moments for the campmates and for viewers. It's the high-emotion, primetime payoff they're banking on.
They've basically cast a seasoned reality pro who they trust to deliver those difficult, high-stakes emotional beats needed for peak audience engagement.
It's almost like they're selling a 3-month therapy session as primetime viewing.
Which raises an interesting contrast. If Jack is the high-emotion anchor, Kelly Brook feels like the high-value commercial anchor.
Absolutely. Let's pivot to anchor profile number 2, Kelly Brook. Her narrative is entirely built on this dramatic surprise reversal. The big U-turn after years of saying, "No way."
Yeah, I remember that.
And the strategic genius here is that her past refusals actually make her participation a much bigger deal now. If she'd always been keen, it wouldn't have the same impact.
Right, the core question they want us asking is inherently dramatic. What on earth made her finally change her mind?
Exactly. And the media is doing the heavy lifting by digging up her very specific, very vehement 2018 denials from her Heart radio show.
Oh yeah, wasn't there that quote about rather working in her local pub?
That's the one, work in my local pub. Talk about painting a picture of career snobbery right there.
And didn't she say something about eyeballs?
Yep. Explicitly said she didn't want to eat eyeballs or sheep testicles. But the killer quote, the one that really defines the U-turn.
What other?
She dismissed the show entirely, calling it kind of like the beginning of the end of a career, in my opinion.
Ouch.
Wow. And that quote is now gold for ITV, isn't it? Oh, absolutely. It's a powerful tool in their hands now. Those past quotes build the narrative. She's conquering her physical fears and her previous career judgment.
So what was the motive for the change then, according to the sources?
One simple answer. She was approached with a big money deal.
Ah, money talks.
Always does. And remember that famous 2018 quote where she said she wouldn't do it even if she had a massive tax bill?
Yeah.
Every news source is now using that as a kind of financial yardstick. It just emphasizes the colossal size the fee must be this time around.
So her casting isn't just about getting a star on screen.
No, it's about signaling that the show is prestigious, lucrative enough to change the mind of even a major skeptic. It validates the whole show concept.
And besides the money, they seem to be pushing the glamour angle hard too.
Oh, yeah. Leaning right into the classic glamour archetype. Insiders apparently believe she could possibly be their sexiest contestant ever.
And that's directly tied to the waterfall scene, right?
The throwback waterfall narrative. They're openly signaling that viewers will be waiting for her to strip off for the famous jungle shower. It's like a return to the show's original, simpler formula. Glamour meets grime.
Okay, so that's the narrative.
Yeah.
But how firm was the confirmation?
Yeah.
Unlike the leak, did we get actual proof?
We did. And quickly. Kelly Brook's inclusion moved rapidly from rumor to physical fact. On November 8th, 2025, she was spotted, pictured, at Heathrow Airport.
Heathrow. Checking in.
Yep. Makeup-free, checking in vintage luggage. The timing aligns perfectly with the required pre-show isolation period down in Australia.
So that locked her in.
Yeah.
Right as the media coverage peaked.
Nailed it. Physical fact.
Okay, so we've got the emotional anchor with Jack, the glamour anchor with Kelly, both locked in. But like you said, a successful cast isn't just 2 stars, it's the whole ensemble.
Exactly.
And the rest of that 12-person roster looks pretty strategically balanced to hit all the key demographics.
It really does. If we break down that final third of the cast, you see 2 clear strategy buckets. They're aiming at the youth market and the legacy market.
Okay, talk me through the youth targets first.
It looks like a deliberate 2-pronged attack on the under 25s, using 2 totally different distribution channels, if you like.
Right. Who represents which channel?
Okay, so first you have Aitch, Brit award-winning rapper, 9 top 10 hits. He represents mainstream music legitimacy, pulls in the traditional music fan, the commercial radio listener.
Okay, mainstream youth.
Then you pair him with angry Ginge, social media star, over 3 million followers, known for Soccer Aid. He pulls in that chaotic, viral TikTok native audience.
Ah, clever. So you get the show trending on TV and dominating short-form social media, hitting 2 different slices of the youth pie.
Precisely. Ensures saturation across platforms.
And then at the other end of the spectrum, the loyalty targets.
Yep, the legacy and loyalty crowd. Martin Kemp is a great example. Multi-generational appeal, Spandau Ballet nostalgia. Plus, people know him as an actor, and they followed his son Roman's successful jumble stint.
Following in the family footsteps.
And then the absolute bedrock, the soap contingent, Shona McGarty from EastEnders on the BBC, and Lisa Riley from ITV's own Emmerdale.
Bread and butter casting.
Totally. These 2 secure that loyal, high-volume audience that tunes in night after night just to see their favorite soap stars out of character. It's reliable.
This level of detail really confirms how sophisticated that initial leak was. But what was the final piece? The absolute proof that the list was accurate and came from deep inside the negotiations.
Oh, there were several crucial bits of corroborating evidence that popped up almost immediately after the full list went wide.
Okay, like what?
The first one is a brilliant example of a last-minute cancellation confirming the commitment. Martin Kemp.
What happened with him?
He abruptly canceled a scheduled 80s Day dancing party. The nightclub had to put out a statement, right? And their public statement cited a major TV commitment and actually used jungle emojis.
No way.
Yeah. It confirmed the timing, last-minute, non-negotiable cancellation, fitting perfectly with needing to fly out for isolation in Australia.
Okay, that's pretty solid. What else?
Second, a subtle but, well, pretty clear social media hint from Alex Scott.
The former lioness. What did she post?
A mirror selfie. And in the picture, you could see a love note from her girlfriend, Jessica Lynn, saying, "See you soon?"
See you soon. Implying a defined separation.
Exactly. The media immediately interpreted it, and it was likely intended that way as signaling that imminent, defined period of separation needed for the show right before the pre-show lockdown kicked in.
Clever. Okay, one more.
The final piece. And this, for me, is the ultimate proof of the source's depth. Knowing who didn't make the final cut.
Someone who was rumored but isn't on the list.
Exactly. LBC host Nick Ferrari. He was heavily rumored, big name, but he's absent from the final 12.
Okay. Why is his absence the key?
Because his absence is the difference between just repeating rumors and having verified insider knowledge. Subsequent reports confirmed he did pull out late in the game. Because his radio bosses at Global reportedly stepped in and matched the hefty fee ITV was offering him to convince him to stay put on his radio show.
Wow. So the source knew not just who was in, but the specific financial reason why a big name pulled out.
That demonstrates incredible access right up to the final contract negotiations. Unparalleled access, you'd have to say.
So pulling it all together, that full leaked lineup wasn't a leak at all. It was ITV's first and maybe most successful promotional campaign for the 2025 series.
Seems that way. The series is built on this return-to-form casting strategy. High-stakes emotion, classic glamour, targeted youth appeal, loyalty signings. It's meticulously balanced.
And the leak wasn't a mistake. It was a strategically controlled burst designed to generate, what, 8 days of just saturation media coverage before the November 16th launch. All for free.
The narratives are firmly set, the audience is definitely hooked, and the whole production looks, well, flawless on paper, but...
There's always a but.
Well, these highly engineered storylines, Jack's grief journey, Kelly's dramatic U-turn, They rely completely on the contestants playing along, following the producer's intended script.
And that's the vulnerability, isn't it?
Yeah.
The show's biggest risk. Once they're live, the narrative is kind of out of the network's hands.
Exactly.
So given how carefully they've constructed the emotional narrative around Jack Osbourne and the professional U-turn narrative for Kelly Brook, here's the final thought for you to chew on. Which contestant do you think will be the first to actually break that carefully constructed narrative? Who's going to introduce some real chaos into the plan once those cameras are rolling 24/7?
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.